In fact, the current state of affairs in this industry might best be summed up by this AI researcher.
I think we may actually be at literally the worst moment in AI history because we have the weakest guardrails right now. We have the weakest understanding of what they do. And yet there's so much enthusiasm that there's a widespread adoption. But it's a little bit like the early days of airplanes. The worst day to be on an intercontinental plane would have been the first day.
That seems completely true to me. In the same way that the worst day to be on the Titan submersible would have been any day that ends in a Y. Well, ideally, I guess we'd roll the clock back to 1990 and throw these companies into a fucking volcano, but unfortunately, that is not feasible. And I will say, one of the saddest things about where we're at right now is that for all these chatbots' faults, a lot of people do now depend on them. So tinkering with them won't be without its own risks. When Replica pushed an update making its bots, which they call reps, less flirty, many people described their reps as having been lobotomized, with one user saying it was a horrendous loss. It's an experience so common, there's even now a name for it. It's the post-update blues. So there's reason to proceed with real care here, but guardrails do need to be implemented. And as grim as it sounds, that may be what it takes. Because as you've seen tonight, these companies don't seem to feel much urgency if a couple of customers die here or there, but I bet they'll snap into action if it starts to threaten their bottom line. And look, in general, it is good to remember that however much an app might sound like a friend, what it is a machine. And behind that machine is a corporation trying to extract a monthly fee from you. And that kind of sums up for me what is so dystopian about all this. Because while that guy you saw earlier said that selling AI friends is low risk because they're just entertainment, that's not actually how friends work. Friends can be the most important figures in your life. People confide in friends. They ask advice. They say, I'm depressed, or I've got a crazy idea about math. And true friends know when to listen, when to gently push back, and when to worry about you. And I know that should all really be obvious, but the thing is, I'm not 100% sure any of the brilliant business boys you've seen tonight actually know this. And in hindsight, maybe it was a mistake to let some of the most flamboyantly friendless men on Earth be in charge of designing friends for the rest of us. Because all it seems they've really done is hand us a bunch of bots that are pedophiles, suicide enablers, and the occasional cartoon fox who just wants to watch the world burn. And I really hope for these guys' sake that hell does not exist. Because at the rate that they're going right now, they may one day get to ask Satan questions without having to pay extra for the premium user experience.